Welcome back to episode 10 of the Last Man In podcast. I'm Greg, he's Cam, he's Dan.
Oh, Greg, you're happy this week. I believe you owe the fans an apology after last week. After you left last week with no goodbye.
Tried to leave.
Yeah, tried to. Even Kobe's calling me out on your bullshit.
I'm calling you out on your bullshit.
For what?
Blue Jays, are they even going to make playoffs this year? No.
Nope.
So, it's called being
Disappointment. Last week you were Vikings, this week you were Blue Jays.
Different sports.
No, yeah, and they're both equally disappointing.
We already know where I stand on the Adrian Peter thing.
Peter?
Who's Adrian Peter?
Who's Adrian Peter?
I don't
know. Who are you,
Someone who doesn't beat
Guys,
his children.
I don't feel good, okay? Leave me alone.
No, blame them.
Cam's sick, so bear with anything he says that you don't agree with. It's probably just his
it's
fault.
the NyQuil.
Yeah, it's the NyQuil.
Oh, I forgot to take Benylin before he came.
Oh, that's shit.
Damn it.
Well, it means we don't get to hear your voice. That's too bad. Okay, what we're talking about today is the Unstars tournament. You're being pressed by Nikolai Ehlers and Josh Morrissey. Training camp, full roster. Paul Maurice had a press conference today and talked about some things and had some quotes.
Oh,
wow!
The coolest thing happened too.
Oh,
that's a surprise! Don't say
it's a surprise. Preseason is coming close. So you got looking forward to seeing anyone play. What the Jets will have to do to make the playoffs or be a contender. We've talked about it before, but we'll touch on it again. We'll touch on how injuries have been a problem through the first 3 years with the Jets. We'll talk about their promo schedule as well as NHL mailbag, which will include signings and players walking out of their signings, as well as certain players not going to be at camp, like Crosby, Malkin, and Mantha. So first, before we get to any of that, let's talk about the kind of news that is not Jets related with Teemu Selannes. Wow, I cannot speak again this week. Teemu Selannes trashing Bruce Boudreau in his new book. It was an article written by Greg Wyshynski. And it just stated that Teemu Selannes went and approached Bruce Boudreau before last season and asked for more ice time, asked to be on the power play. And
it was during the playoffs, wasn't it?
It was actually before the season started. And Bruce agreed. And as the season went on, everything just kept reducing and getting reduced. And Teemu Selannes kind of blames Bruce Boudreau for him not returning because he doesn't think he's a good coach.
Wasn't the direct quote, if we had a different coach, I'd still be playing?
Yeah, that's exactly what the quote was. And I'm going to read my favorite excerpt from it. But first I want your guys' opinion on the whole situation.
Wasn't part of the reason he left, he got fired in Washington because the players hated him?
Well, yeah.
Like, I know they didn't do
when you say fuck 13 times in like a 5-minute speech, I don't think a lot of people
That's
like
probably
you.
why 24/7 was on HBO that year. Just for him.
Okay, so
my thoughts on it were, okay, what are you supposed to do with a 43-year-old guy, because he's 43 at the time, with the roster that they have, which is already loaded with young guys, and as they were winning more and more, Teemu wasn't involved in that winning. Are you going to mess up that chemistry and put an old guy in who can't keep up when you could just have like Emerson Edom, Nick Bonino, Matthew Perreault doing more than what he would be doing? Like, why would you?
I would not say that he can't keep up. I would say he can keep up.
Okay,
he's old. He is 43. He is. Obviously, you'd rather put the younger guy in, but I mean,
fine, maybe not speed wise, but I'm saying like
2 years ago he would have been the leading scorer on the Jets at 41.
Yeah, that's very true.
So I mean, he can still play. Like he's.
I'm not. I get where he's coming from because he wanted to play because he's a prideful guy and whatnot, but I'm on the side of he's 43. You're a young guy. They have way more young guys to use, and the chemistry, you're not going to mess up chemistry. Yeah. So I agree. I'm with Boudreau on that one.
I can see why he was left out, and I can see why he's upset.
Yeah.
Also.
I can see why he's upset. So this is direct quotes from him. It would have been wrong if we had won the Stanley Cup with a coach like that. You're as good as your coach wants you to be. If we had any coach, I'd still be playing. Any other coach, I'd still be playing. Yeah. Selannes said that his feud with Boudreau ran so deep that he considered leaving the Ducks in 2013 to sign with the rival Los Angeles Kings. And that sound you're about to hear are thousands of hearts breaking in Manitoba, the Winnipeg Jets, the city where he first played in the NHL.
Okay, wait, repeat that?
Okay. You want me to just repeat?
I was zoned out.
Okay. Selannes said that his feud with Boudreau ran so deep that he considered leaving the Ducks in 2013 to sign with the rival Los Angeles Kings, and that sound you're about to hear are thousands of hearts breaking in Manitoba, the Winnipeg Jets, the city where he first played in the NHL.
Dick Boudreau.
No, Boudreau was the reason why he almost came here.
You couldn't have been a little meaner, Boudreau. Give him the final boot in the ass. God damn it.
He promised him more ice time, so he stayed. And then he lied to him.
See, the thing is, wow, Dan just threw a pen. Oh, wow. There's a hole in your wall.
No, there's not.
This has Dan heated. More.
I like how he said that in unison. Dan just threw a pen. I feel like we're going to hear that. Like, a game hasn't been played for the Winnipeg Jets. There was just a chance that this is about a former Jet that we never really got through. I don't remember watching him play.
Neither do I.
God, that's how angry we are. I can't wait till the season starts. It's like, Winnipeg loses 3 games in a row in the season series to Minnesota. What the fuck? You're just going to hear, like, broken windows. We're all going to be smashing everything around us.
Only if we lose
this glass desk.
If we lose the season series to, like, the Panthers, then stuff.
Well, no, because I only said Wild because, like, oh, wait, do tiebreakers even count anymore?
I don't even know.
I still don't know.
You have to be in playoff contention for that to
Oh, yeah, Florida. Yeah. Okay, you know what? I'm down at that. Wait, we still have cake. Treats a pizza deal. We have to write that down.
What is it?
Remember I said, like, episode 2 or 3... The moment a Florida Panther eclipses 38 points, I'm buying a Treats a Pizza for us and lead it on the podcast.
Yes.
Sounds good. Yeah, so I guess what I think is that for a guy who's 43 years old, you still got to find a role for him on your team and try to keep him happy. But clearly Bruce was doing neither. He just kind of let him fall aside with Saku Koivu. And maybe that's the reason why Saku retired as well. Because they're both older guys, and they're both getting buried on a team. So maybe that's why both of them are like, well, we're not going to play, so let's just leave. But on the other side is, who's he going to play ahead of on Anaheim?
Like, but that's what I'm thinking about.
Here's the only, I'm not going to say problem I have with the article, but if it said that Teemu considered leaving, if he really still wants to play, why doesn't he just sign with someone else?
Exactly.
Like, if he really wants to play, go to the Kings. They'll pay him. I don't know if the Jets would sign him at this point. Like, there's a spot on the roster, but
would he fit that spot?
Maybe you know what? If none of the young guys in camp show that they're ready, then maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? But I guess a coach can influence it that much, but I don't even know if I want... I know this sounds weird, but I don't even know if I want Teemu on the Jets at this point in time. If that's his attitude, that he has to play this much hockey and be in those types of situations, and if he's not like that on our team, we're just going to get another whiner, and I don't want another whiner. And the one thing is, Teemu should not have come out and said this, because now part of his legacy might be destroyed in some people's eyes, or at least some respect lost, because they're thinking of him as someone who complains, and not being the stand-up person who he is.
Maybe. I know I shouldn't make a tie to this at all because it's not really related.
Oh my God.
No, I know, but Kate,
what are you gonna?
A lot of people, because it's going on this week with my favorite NFL team, favorite player.
Okay. Here comes Adrian Peterson. No. Yeah, you support child beating.
No,
okay.
no, that's not it at all.
Another legacy ruined it.
No, exactly. Right. No, that's what I'm saying. In terms of like, Adrian Peterson was on par to be arguably one of the greatest. I'm not saying the greatest, but one of the greatest NFL running backs ever. And now this came out. A lot of people. Nike dropped him. Nike. Yeah. Like, Nike only drops you, like, if you've done something real terrible.
Not even sex addiction makes Nike drop you. Because they didn't drop Tiger.
I was just going to say, there you go. So, it obviously, like, it's just, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth in terms with Teemu, like, it's in your autobiography or biography. Either way, it's a book about your life, and one of the chapters, or even a couple pages, is, like, reduced to, oh, yeah, I would have kept playing, and I was real upset, but my coach was a dick. It's like, come on. Like, you couldn't just, like, turn the other cheek and be like, you know what, it happened, but people don't need to know about it.
Might not have been the way he wanted to go out, though.
Exactly.
But, his book isn't finished, though.
You have to think about...
So this is all interpreted from his book.
And you have to think about how hard it was. Think about how hard it is for him. He's been playing hockey since he was, 18? For him to have
in the NHL is 22, because Finland you have to serve 2 years.
For him to have to just walk away from it, and maybe it wasn't how he wanted to, I'd probably be a little upset.
Of course.
Okay. With the Young Stars tournament, were you guys impressed with Nikolai Ehlers' Game 3 performance against Edmonton?
Yup.
Is that the one? I didn't
2 goals in the third period, tie the game, an assist, and the shootout winner. And one of the goals was end-to-end top shelf.
I saw that one, and then I saw the shootout winner. Another guy was impressed with, like, he didn't have the greatest game in Game 3, but Nick Patan. I thought he was solid throughout the whole tournament.
I think
you
did
didn't
play
see him at a lot of points, but when you didn't see him, he was playing good defensively. Like, sure, he wasn't always.
He actually has
dazzling.
a really good kind of two-way forward feel to him.
Yeah.
Right now, and I'm okay. Like, I
He'll
don't
make
think he'll
his
make
way
this
to the
team.
roster eventually. Not
Yes,
this year.
not
Not
this
this year.
I think he's going to be a good second-line center, third-line center, depth guy who's going to score 30, 40 points a year, and is going to be solid defensively, which is something the Jets would need in the future.
Yeah.
And it's very clear from the prospects, from the young stars, that we have a future that's bright.
My
I
opinion
think.
for Patan is pros 3 years.
Yeah.
He'll be in that spot in 3 years.
Okay.
Oh, that'd be all right.
I'm
That'd
okay
be
with
okay
that.
That'd be
That'd
my
sweet.
that's my opinion.
That's a pretty good assumption.
Yeah.
What about Morrissey? I know we touched on him before.
Okay, he didn't have the greatest youngsters tournament, but that could also see now this is just like resting on your laurels and like the past. But you mentioned as we started recording the podcast, so right before we filmed or hit record, sorry, he played 112 games last year.
Played 112 games last year.
And so he had a shortened summer, and plus you have to factor in for the summer, like you have to rest a little bit before.
Yeah.
So like maybe he's still a little tired from that, and that's lagging. And maybe like, I don't want to say this, but maybe he got a bit of an ego, like in terms of like, oh, I played pretty good, and like you hear nothing but great things about him, which is good. Like Keith McCambridge, coach of the St. John's Ice Caps, said like Morrissey played every game or pretty much every game in the playoffs and like a big factor. He didn't just play like little minutes. He was top 2 pairing, so he was in there all the time. So in terms of the Youngstars tournament, I don't think he had the greatest Youngstars tournament from what I saw. But Dan, what do you think about that?
He didn't stand out, but I don't know. I can't see him making the team this year unless he like blows everyone out of the water in preseason and training camp. Because we have, how many defensemen do we have? 8?
Signed, yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of D. It's
Like,
a tough roster spot.
We're already gonna have to send a couple of guys down out of that. If he makes the team, they're gonna have to trade someone.
Yeah.
That's the only option.
Well,
So, and they probably, that might not be a bad thing. They can trade a defenseman for a forward, maybe, but I'd say
where do
he's.
you put him in though? Where he's
I'd
gonna
say
be
he's.
useful
I'd say
part of the
he's
team?
probably a year off next year.
Where does he slot in? Because you got Enstrom Bogo. How are you going to split that up?
No,
You got Stewart.
Bogo, and I wouldn't. Did they play together last year?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
Yeah, and then you got
Most of the time.
Trouba Stewart.
See, Bogo and Trouba played power play.
Yeah.
That's what you might be thinking.
Because Buff and Enstrom played.
Yeah,
power
but
play
I think
together.
our lines are going to change.
Yeah,
Oh,
of
I think
course.
they will.
Oh,
Didn't work
definitely.
last year.
But
Like,
whatever. Maybe Morrissey fits and he plays with Bogo. Maybe it's Morrissey Bogo.
No, I'd say it's going to be Bogo Trouba. Then you could.
Why would you have 2 right-handed shots?
You could even do Enstrom. No,
You put
that's
your
what-
2 best defensemen on the on the line that's going to play the most
Fight.
minutes.
So you're
Trouba
saying
Bogo
Bogo is a better defenseman than Enstrom?
Yes. In the Western Conference, yeah, Toba's way too small.
Yeah, but Bogo hasn't
injury-
had the best.
He has
years.
injury problems.
which
when he
we'll
plays,
talk about.
he's good.
Yeah, you're
So
right.
wait, so Dan, right now you're saying Bogo, Trouba,
Enstrom,
Enstrom.
put Morrissey with Enstrom, then you could do
Stu and then-
Clitsum, Stewart,
Okay.
Ellerby, Stewart, Party, Stewart.
Interesting.
But even
Whatever
if
you
Morrissey
want.
doesn't crack the roster, nothing's wrong with going down to junior, as
No.
we talked about last podcast, being the pretty much captain or a leader
No.
on your team. Definitely, pretty much a guarantee that he'll be on Team Canada.
Oh, yeah.
And if you didn't think dealing with pressure, then well, it's in Canada again. And guess what?
That's some
it's
pressure.
You better win gold, and if you don't win gold, at least get us a medal, Mama Murphy.
I
Yeah.
think he's a year off because they don't need him on the team right now.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So unless he proves that he belongs there, I don't. Where Ehlers, they need a winger still.
Yeah.
And I honestly think he has a good shot.
Yeah.
Unless they make a trade before the season starts to fill that spot, because I know there's some teams that are over the cap that are going to be dumping some guys.
Hopefully.
Like Boston's got to get rid of
Someone.
Probably Boychuk. I mean, he's a defenseman, so that doesn't help us really.
You know, I could see Boychuk
But,
just throwing this out there.
Edmonton.
Yeah, Edmonton.
Oh, he's from Edmonton.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
think
didn't know
so.
that. Well, either ways.
They
They need him there.
yeah, but apparently they talked trade in the summer and they never got anything. done.
Oh, okay.
I would take him on the Jets, but we don't really have a spot. That's the only problem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's very true.
he'd be a good addition to our defense.
Be
Yeah.
a very good addition to our defense.
Yeah.
Okay, so training camp, full roster. I have it here on my phone in pictures, and I'm going to read you guys the challengers, the guys who are not on the team.
Shouldn't we read the lines first and then read the spots?
No.
Well, yeah.
We'll
No,
touch
that
on
makes sense, though.
Yeah,
And
fine,
then-
Dan.
I'm logical.
Whatever. That's
well,
cool.
in the press conference that Maurice said today, the assumption, and basically this is essentially the lines he said going into the season as of right now would be top, or just no line, no top, but Andrew Ladd, Brian Little, Michael Frolik, Evander Kane, Mark Scheifele, Blake Wheeler, blank spot on the left wing, so that could potentially be Ehlers. Then Perreault and Buff, and then missing wingers on the fourth line with Slater being the center.
Okay, and the people fighting for those spots that have the best chance are Odell, Gagliardi, Tangretti, Peluso, Halischuk, Thorburn, Ehlers, Patan, Lepon. No, not Lepon.
Yeah, Lepon.
Yeah, he was in there.
Yeah,
Who's
Lepon's 46.
Oh yeah, 46. Really? I thought he was 36 for some reason.
No, he's 34.
And then
but
Kosmachuk.
But Hutch was 34.
Okay, so right now we have what?
So that's
3 blanks. Fill them in. Greg, go.
with the 3 blanks?
Yeah.
Okay, if I had to pick, I go Ehlers.
On the third line.
Third line Ehlers. Oh, yeah, I go third line Ehlers.
Okay.
And then I go Gagliardi, Halischuk.
Okay, Cam.
Okay, no Ehlers. Screw that noise. Go back to junior. It won't hurt you. I'm gonna say third line. I'll put Gagliardi. Fourth, the wingers. I'm gonna put Odell and Lepon.
Okay.
You guys are going off the board here.
Odell and Lepon.
Okay.
I like Lepon, though. I think he's good.
I like Odell, and
I don't
Lepon
think
is
he's
apparently
ready, though.
actually Lepon had like something like 100 plus like penalty minutes last year, which like nowadays it's kind of nuts to hear. But like as a junior
yeah.
in AHL.
Okay,
Yeah.
I've thought about it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Third
Tell us
line-
your thoughts.
Third line is either going to be Ehlers or Gagliardi on the wing.
Okay.
If Ehlers if Ehlers isn't ready, Gagliardi gets that spot.
Okay.
So for argument's sake, let's say Ehlers makes it.
Okay.
Then the fourth line is going to be Gagliardi, Slater, Peluso, because Maurice likes the big tough guys and he likes physical.
Oh, I didn't.
He likes.
Yeah.
He likes a tough. He said they're going to
Yeah.
be a hard hitting, aggressive team. So that's to me, those are the guys you put there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's okay.
Understandable. If Gagliardi's on the third line, then I think, sadly, Thorburn fills in the other fourth line wing just for the toughness.
Yeah.
You could maybe if
And that large nose.
because you said Lowry's probably going back.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah, because it
The-
was
only other guy I could see on the fourth would be Odell instead of Thorburn.
well because there was a press conference that was held like it ended like an hour after we're recording this, like as we
Or
spoke.
hour before we started recording.
Hour before we started recording.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Hour before. It ended an hour before we started recording.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Because it didn't. It's not still ongoing
Yeah,
as we're
exactly,
recording
sorry.
this. And because
Anyways-
we wouldn't be able to grab quotes, it was still ongoing.
Yeah, correct.
That it finished.
There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm good at this stuff.
Why
is my paper being hoarded out?
Just to finish my reasoning for Peluso, did you guys see when they were doing the photo video?
Yeah, he was fighting.
The photo video shoots for the team intros. Yeah, they had one of him, and he's like,
That's because he's known for it. But what was I gonna say about?
Plus-
oh yeah, right.
another reasoning I think he'll be on the team is last year I was listening to Maurice interview and he stood behind Peluso. He liked him.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
but
fair.
Dan had mentioned like Lowry in this press conference. Maurice was saying that they're not against giving Lowry a shot, but they're really pushing hard to develop him at center. And last year he played bottom 6 AHL minutes, but now he has the opportunity to play top 6 AHL minutes at center. So that's what the main goal for him. They're going to give him all the chance he need, or all the chances they can give him to make the Jets, but they'd rather have him at center.
And
so they're going to play him top line AHL for now.
Even if you throw him in the AHL for a year, Slater's contract's up at the end of the year.
Exactly. So
There's a centerman
There
spot.
you go.
yeah, slots right in.
Okay, so the other people that are challenging for spots, and we could see them periodically get moved up because they will. Most of these guys will, if they don't make the team, will probably go to St. John's if they're old enough, and we could see them slot in at some point with injuries. So for forwards, we have John Albert, Axel Blomqvist, Austin
huge.
Broussard. He's 6'6", 194.
He's tall.
He's a big boy.
Yeah.
Patrice Cormier, Chase DeLeo, Nikolai Ehlers, Carl Klinberg, Scott Kosmachuk, J.C. Lapon, Jimmy Lodge, Adam Lowry, Eric Odell, Ryan Olsen, and Nick Patan.
You know what?
Pretty much the last,
I totally forgot about Cormier. I know he hasn't done much, but I like how he plays.
Yeah, 2/3 of that list, or like 3/4 of that list are junior guys.
Yeah,
Oh,
they'll go back
damn
to
it,
junior.
I totally
Yeah.
forgot about Cormier.
Yeah.
Like,
But the thing
I
is-
know he hasn't done much when he's been here, but I like the way he plays.
Is
He
it
hits
because he's
every guy he sees.
Is it the last remnants of your
No,
Kovalchuk trade? Is that
no,
why?
he
I think that's
he
why.
is he is though. He is the last remnants.
Yeah, but still,
Technically, no, because they got a first round pick in that deal that they traded for Dustin Byfuglien.
Oh, okay.
So technically, no.
And
Fine.
fun fact, I know, this is just weird. That pick turned into Jeremy Morin, who is
You
now
know too much.
who is now the fourth line left wing on the
Rangers.
Blackhawks. No,
No,
Blackhawks depth chart.
No,
He's
did
number
you-
11.
Where did he play hockey before? Where was his
Jeremy
junior-
Morin?
Who was his junior team?
I think they
Didn't he go to free agency
I
this
think
year?
Cataracts, maybe.
Kitchener Rangers.
Didn't
Oh,
he?
really?
Whoa.
Right on.
Am I missed? Did he not go to free agency this year because Chicago couldn't sign him?
Jeremy Morin?
Yeah.
No, that's Jimmy Hayes, maybe.
Yeah, maybe that's one. They sound the same.
They sound the same. Okay, so for defense,
Jimmy Hayes went to New. He left.
Okay, that's the guy.
reading these names, I don't think any of these guys are gonna make it. Just reading these names.
Be-
Julian Brulette, who we signed earlier. Ben Sherratt.
Actually, he was in the press thing. Or does everyone just get to be?
Everyone in
Everyone.
camp.
Oh, okay.
Just in case.
Sorry.
Brendan Kitchen. Jan Kostelek. Julian
Melchiori.
Melchiori.
He's a Thrasher draft pick. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Guys,
he's
remember like the
23.
2 or 3 games he played last year? He sucked.
No, he was awful.
No, Sherratt.
Sorry.
Sherratt
Is that
was
the
bad.
guy?
Yeah,
He played
against
he
the
played the
Blackhawks.
Sorry,
It was
Julian.
awful.
Oh my God.
That's
That one
the guy
game, get him
thinking-
out.
Sorry, Greg, go ahead.
Josh Morrissey, Will O'Neill, and Nelson
Nogier.
Nogier. Thank you.
Nogier was
Nogier.
D partners with Morrissey.
Uh,
Oh, I lied. He's
the
second
only-
parent, so he'll probably be parent.
The only guy that I could say might get a call up would be Kitchen.
Yeah, Kitchen was awesome in the Young Stars. I thought he was the best defenseman for sure.
He could.
For us.
He could.
Yeah,
be,
and he's 22, so he's not junior eligible anymore. So
'Cause
Kitchen
he's
could
been-
be that.
we all know that half the Jets' decor will be out by November, so he might get a call up.
Oh, here's a fun question for everyone. First Jet to go down forward or D? Who for like
Injury?
injury?
Well, do you want to just talk about injuries then too?
Yeah, okay,
Well,
let's
we're on
talk about it
Let's
right
talk
now.
about the
Oh, yeah.
stat we have.
Well, we'll talk more about the point. We're unorganized. It's fine. Let's talk about
Greg's
injuries.
good at trying to keep us on task. He's
I
like-
try. Like I
he's
make
like
this
father bear over here.
I make this sheet, and I'm like, oh, it's full. Of
Oh
the
yeah,
sheet.
he finally prints out sheets. Right, whatever. That's fine.
Yeah. Now
He
that I'm
makes
in
the
school,
sheet,
I'm
but he
more
doesn't
organized.
order the sheet, so it's just a sheet.
This is ordered, just not in.
Okay, wait. So what are we gonna talk about?
Significance.
My guess. Well, for
Okay,
injuries,
First
Greg,
one guy down. First guy down.
my guess.
Yeah.
No, Dan, you go. You got someone in mind.
I already have someone in mind.
Don't. I'm gonna go with my gut and hope it's Pavlik.
That's
you're
me.
awful.
That's
That's
me.
our one hope. We need him.
Oh.
Hutch. Well, come on. We're gonna burn him in the fire.
If Pavlik gets hurt, that'll force them to go get a goalie.
Hold on, I gotta look at this roster for a second here.
First guy to go down, like we're talking like
You know what?
like missing
10
significant.
5+ games.
You know what?
5+ games.
It's gonna kill me
5+?
to say it. It's
5+.
gonna kill me to say
No
it.
way! I'm totally with you if I think I know what you're doing.
But Bogle's gone.
Oh no! I was gonna say Wheeler.
Ooh.
Dude.
He never misses. He got.
Yeah, don't
Dude,
say that!
That's
don't
why!
say it!
Don't you dare!
I witnessed a game where he got a slap shot in the throat, and he still finished the game.
I don't care, don't say it. I'm just going to say what everyone else is thinking, and Jim Slater's going to get hurt.
I forgot about him.
He's gonna go take a step and bust his ankle because he's got no calcium.
I'm sorry,
Because all he
Jim.
does is
Someone's
You're
gonna take
awesome.
him to work again, and he's gonna work a little too hard.
Yeah.
Jim, I love you. You're a good player, but you get hurt way too much, so I'm sorry. You're my pick.
He screwed us. He scored 12 goals the first year here, and we're like, yeah, we'll sign you, we'll take you. And then the next 2 years, he's like, yeah, I'm not
I'm
playing,
going to
guys.
get injured.
Sorry.
So, on that injury note, last year, the Jets lost 349 games for players due to injury. That's third highest in the NHL, only to Pittsburgh and Detroit.
Ooh, okay.
However, the guys that we missed were not nearly as significant as the guys that they missed. Obviously, we were missing guys like Klitzum and Slater, who, yes, they don't play the biggest roles on our team, but they are still roster players. Compared to who
Trouba
Pittsburgh.
for a month and
I
a half.
have to interject with that. That makes us look really shitty because those two teams make the playoffs every year, and they lost their stars. We lost our bums, and we still didn't make the playoffs.
Pittsburgh was missing Letang. Detroit was
Crosby
missing.
for half the year a couple of years ago.
Hey, we missed Shifes in that last
that's
month,
true. Yeah.
leading in.
Whoa,
That's
you
good.
caught that.
But
Nice.
that's not he's not our best player. It's
No,
not like
but
losing.
you know what I think we've touched on this before, but when Shifes went down, that's basically like when the
when the team
started
Well, yeah.
sucking,
It
which
threw
is
off
awesome.
their chemistry because him and Wheeler were
Which is
we're
yeah, I guess.
developing
No, I
really good
understand.
chemistry.
It sucks because he got hurt, but it's awesome in terms of like that shows how like it really shows how much he's worth to the team. Which I mean, I like watching. I was like, oh, he's good. Like I love him. I think he's great. But when he went down, it really helped everyone else notice like how good he is.
Yeah, that's true.
Shifley's got to get his confidence too. If he gets that, he could be good.
Yeah.
So in the 3 years that we've had the Jets here, granted one of them was a half season,
Yep.
but we lost 803 games due to injuries.
Dang it.
In 3 years. And by my calculations, that's top 5 in most injuries.
Yep.
You just did the math of all the teams in your head right now.
In comparison.
No,
just by...
Just kidding.
Because I used this website, what the frick was it called?
Calculator.com.
I don't know. It was online. I just looked up injuries. I think it was like something man lost. I can't remember. But judging by it, like we were 3rd highest, 5th highest, and like 8th highest for like the 3 years.
Yeah, that's fine.
And the thing was that the only team that kept being in there was Pittsburgh and us.
And what
in
did
those top
Pittsburgh
10.
have?
And Pittsburgh had 962 in those 3 years. Games lost. And that's including Crosby, Malkin, Letang, Fleury, all those guys.
And they can make the playoffs without those guys.
Yeah, because they make moves.
And because
They pull the trigger
even
on
if
Jets are
Malkin's,
really patient.
if Malkin's out, they still have Crosby. If Crosby's out, they still have Malkin. When they're both out,
They had Jordan Stahl.
They had at the time. Yeah.
Hypothetical, I'm just throwing spitballing this out there, because say come the end of the year, half through the year, Pavlik's hasn't got any better, he's still terrible. Fleury, because they think his contract's up this year, right?
I think so.
And they think that if he doesn't play well, he's gone. Would you get rid of Pavlik and sign Fleury at the end of the year if you're the Jets? Just hypothetical.
Get rid of.
But how much is it going to cost?
Someone will take Pavs.
Because it'd be like a $6 million contract probably for like 3 years.
I don't know how much he's.
Oh yeah, it'd be like a Miller contract.
Yeah, but every like look at the final 4 teams last year. How much did all their goalies make? A lot of money.
Yeah, no, that's
Wick,
true.
Lundqvist, Price, and Crawford. Those guys are all making $6-7 million a year.
Crawford's
Wow.
five.
But
to be
that's
honest,
still,
Crawford does not get what he deserves. He's actually a pretty good goaltender.
Oh yeah, obviously.
He does not get all the.
But you
praise
also
that
have
he
to,
deserves.
like the
he's very
team in
good.
front of him, they don't really need an all-star goalie because they have an all-star cast already in front of them.
No,
so
that's
they don't
true.
really need to spend
A lot
X
of money.
amount compared to other teams like Montreal,
Yeah.
where it's like their defense is like PK Subban, Andrei Markov, and then Carey Price.
Yeah.
It's like when those guys aren't playing.
Yemelin.
But Price is. Price is.
Oh, I'm not like crap talking. I'm just saying like
I know what you're saying.
in comparison to those 4 other teams. Like,
Yeah,
of
I'm
course.
I'm just saying that every contending team puts money into their goaltending because their goaltending is worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ours is not, and we need someone who's worth that kind of
Yeah.
money.
It was funny. I think, it was the year the Leafs made the playoffs. They had the lowest tandem for money for goaltenders.
It was Reimer and who?
Reimer and Scrivens. They were both making less than $2 million.
Yeah.
They had a goalie on the Marlies that was making more money than both those goalies.
Who's that?
UC Rinus was making like 2.1 with bonuses.
Who?
UC Renus.
Rinus. He never played a game, but like his contract was 2.1, worth 2.1.
Crazy.
And Reimer's was 1.8, and I believe Scrivens was below mil at the time.
Whoa.
Yeah, like their 2 goalies combined were making 3.9 maybe.
Whoa.
Yeah, at like the high end. That's high end. No, it was like 3.5 at that highest end, I think.
Holy smokes.
And they made the playoffs with that crew. So
That's ridiculous.
just goes to show you don't have to pay for goaltending, but it does help because we all know how the Leafs did when they made the playoffs. They lost.
But Dan also raised a great point in one of our previous podcasts about they didn't have time to have their March slide. And so it just hit all at once really fast.
Fuck you.
It's so true, though. Okay.
Should we
Paul
go over
Maurice-
the
Paul Maurice said
podcast-
some
the-
things.
Not the podcast.
Yeah,
the
he
press
said
conference.
things.
Yes.
Tell me what he
Wait,
said.
guys.
He said some
What?
things. Hey, he let me. No.
Where did he say these things?
Oh!
On a brand new
Brand new
podium! It's so cool! We have a TV screen, it's got animation.
Kobe likes it.
We can't make the playoffs, but we can kick any other podium in any other arena's ass.
Yeah.
I guarantee you all the
Suck
teams
it,
have a podium
Islanders
like
and
that.
Yeah,
Pittsburgh.
every
We have a
other
podium.
team's probably had that since before we even got the Jets back.
Yeah, we just don't notice because we don't watch a press conference.
Yeah, so okay, let's do some highlights from what he said today.
What were some of his best quotes?
He said we want to push hard as we can to be a contending franchise. He wants to put us in the top 10. He said we're not there yet, but we will be.
Well, that's true. I want to be there too.
He said Evander Kane is a leader on the team.
Better be.
So at least he supports Kane, and Kane obviously
That question
likes him.
only came up probably, or that comment
He also-
based off of that.
Yeah.
He also
stupid
addressed the Wheeler Kane saga, and he said Wheeler's comments at the end of the summer were positive. He said it was one leader talking to another. He also said that Kane and Wheeler worked the hardest out of any of the Jets this offseason. They both look phenomenal, apparently.
Aw, Paul Murray's just giving pats on the back to everyone.
Well, but those are the...
Aw.
If the Jets want to make the playoffs, those two guys have
Very
to be...
important.
Have to be...
Very important.
Yeah.
And they have to have a very good sophomore center between them too.
He said we have to become a better defensive team, obviously.
17th last year in shots against. So that's not top 20, but that's just out of playoff contention.
You can't always blame Pavlik. Our defense is not the greatest.
But okay, you're 17th in shots against.
Our goal
I would like to
sucks.
see who's behind. I'd like to see who's below us in shots against. But the other thing that I want to know about that stat is how many of those shots are given up in the third period with 10 minutes to go when the Jets have a lead. Because Jets never seem to be able to hold the lead.
Oh, I thought you were going to. They never blocked shots in the last 10 minutes of the game.
That could be a
keep in mind though.
But I feel like they fold in the third period and they don't keep pressing. So if they're up a game 3-2, they're in their own end for 8 of the last 10 minutes, which means they're getting more shots.
But Noel's philosophy was always protect the lead, right?
Yeah. No, I know.
I don't think they had time to fully transition out of that. Like with more, they had Maurice for 3 months. I don't think they had time to transition
No,
to that.
that's very true.
I think this year you're going to see a different team. They're going to look like the players are the same, but how they play is going to be.
No, I totally agree. But he also said, Cam mentioned it to me that he also said that he's fully confident in Pavlik.
He said, I have confidence in this man and his ability to do it, and that was him on Pavlik being number one goalie. So they're going to give him a shot, but
whatever.
And
totally
Pavlik
agree
apparently
with
is in
that.
the best shape of his life. So
That's good.
That's
Good
what
for
they
him.
always say, though. Like, at the start of the year, it's like, oh, yeah, best shape of your life. It's like, but I read an article, I'm not sure who wrote it, and it was just saying, like, do they always need to be in the best shape of their life? Like, that doesn't good shape doesn't necessarily mean good output. In terms of, he also used Byfuglien as a comparison, and Phil Kessel, saying, Phil Kessel and Dustin Byfuglien, they're rarely ever, like, in the top peak physical condition of like the team in comparison, because like if you look at Evander Kane, he's like, oh my god, I don't even know like how body fat works, but he's always in like just top peak physical condition in terms of if that's like visually, yes. But if you look at a guy like Buff, he optimally he's the best at when he's just normal. So like getting into shape might help Buff endurance wise, but will it help him like perform better? You never know. Like,
I don't know if you guys saw the video when Buff did the ice bucket challenge in the summer, but he's not like anyone who thinks he's fat, he's not muscular. You're wrong. He was.
Is it on YouTube or is it on Insta?
I don't know. He was cut though.
Instagram.
Like he was thin. Like the same. But he was.
Oh, it's just saying like
he's a bigger guy. Yeah. That's just
no.
How he
I
is.
see what Cam's saying.
Yeah, the argument is just like you don't always need. Some guys don't need to be like shredded to do what they do. Like
was Buff that
Phil Kessel's never been like jacked or anything. Yet he's consistently top 10. I would say fastest in the NHL.
Was Buff in that good shape the year? Was Buff in that good shape the year in the playoffs when he was the MVP? Arguably.
No, I don't think.
I doubt it because he went to Atlanta right after and all the talk about him not being in shape was. So I mean, he can. I mean. This might be a bad example, but Keith Tkachuk, he was a great NHL player, and he was always on the heavier side.
Yeah, but that's also coming in because of, like, I guess nowadays, like Keith Tkachuk days, he was
different. The game's
yeah,
faster.
Of course,
yeah.
yes, yeah. But, you know what, I just think as long as you can perform and keep up, I don't care what, like, physically what you look like. Like, I know they try and push it to be like, oh, you should be shredded and you should be jacked and all this, but it's like, hey, we're all different shapes and, like, we're in sizes and whatnot. And you know what? There's some guys who are shredded who are pretty awful in comparison to some guys like us who we're not shredded, yet we can play better than those people.
And,
so
to argue your point, you said Evander Kane, he's probably the most cut guy on the team, and he's probably the biggest disappointment on the team, too. So
in terms from last year, I guess, yeah. That was a bad year.
So, I mean, that, physical looks aren't everything. Let's put it that way.
So let's talk about women now and get off men's bodies.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Before we leave the Jets, should I read their... Because there's hockey next week, in case anyone didn't know.
Yeah!
Oh my God!
Preseason! Big baby!
Hey, I want to ask you a
Jets-
quick question.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Dan. I'm interrupting you.
I don't.
Do you think
that
there's a
puck gets
problem
skated.
with charging full price for preseason games? Because they're the least in demand games. If you're going to go to a game, you don't really want to go to a preseason game. And you think they should be a cheaper ticket because of that?
You know what I think? I don't know if I read this or if I talked to you guys about this last year at some point. I think preseason games should not be available to season ticket holders, be available to the public. Is that you who talked to this one?
No, Trevor told me that yesterday. He's like, I think no season ticket holders should be allowed
So
to go.
it gives other
No,
people.
no,
So
not,
it gives
you're
other-
not banned. You're
No.
not banned, but like the
You can
team, other people can buy tickets.
Yeah.
And at a reduced cost nonetheless too, because really
Give
you
them-
make your money.
Give them a taste of what it's.
Yeah, just get like, come on.
You
And
know
the
what?
players aren't
as a
getting paid at
person
that
who
point.
would as a season ticket holder, well, half season.
Yeah.
I would be fine with that because I went to the preseason games last year and they were boring as hell.
I went to
'Cause,
the Edmonton game, it was awful.
Yeah, it's fun to see some younger guys, but no one in the crowd gives a flying fuck about anything. Like it's terrible.
It's not back in the days when Phoenix used to come here to play that
No, but
one
see,
preseason
then-
game.
then
It's
again-
not like year one when the Columbus game was here.
Oh
and
my
people
God.
went nuts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
no,
no,
this is
perfect example when we used to have Flames come here, like everyone in the building was jazzed because there's NHL hockey.
Yeah.
You would have that buzz again with fans who like
Don't get to see it
who
all
don't
the time.
always get to go, and especially
like-
at a reduced price. Then that'd be awesome. I think that'd be cool.
I don't see any reason why a ticket for preseason needs to be over $100.
oh god, no, like they.
Like they
Your
could,
regular
you
price,
could sell your P1 tickets for $100, and it would sell out. And like, the thing is they're still gonna have 11,000 to 14,000 fans. They may even sell out for the preseason games, but realistically, they'll have 11,000 to 14,000 fans, and they'll make more money with those preseason games being sold than if they reduced the rates and had a full sellout.
It shouldn't
And
be.
that's the way they look at it.
It should not be over $100 a game because you're not going to see any of the good players.
Is it worth $100?
You might see a couple, like they might play a couple of guys, and the preseason games are terrible.
Yeah, they're not. They're not the best to watch. And like, look at our
Except last
preseason
year,
schedule.
first preseason game last year, first shift of the game, Buff hit a guy through the Zamboni door, so that was
That's
worth
good.
it. That was worth it.
See,
I don't remember that. Was
Edmonton.
that? Oh, that was right in front of
Yep.
me. You're right. Okay.
Okay,
I remember that.
The Jets, just in case anyone is wondering, they play 3 games next week. They kick off preseason Monday against Minnesota here, and then
in Winnipeg.
and then Wednesday back at the MTS Center again against Edmonton, and then next Saturday they play in Minnesota. All those games are at 7:00.
Interesting. Well, obviously, it's going to give us a chance to kind of see what we have, but
And I believe
Preseason's
they're
such
all
a
on
hard
TSN
judge.
3 this year, so you can watch them.
there's a couple that are getting streamed online, just so you know.
Like
I
Jets.
believe the ones next week are all
All on
on
TSN3.
TSN 3.
I know the Monday game for sure is on TSN3.
Oh, so the first one.
Yeah, first
Well, that's
one's
because
for sure.
everyone wants it.
Yeah.
It's like crack. You need it.
Oh, man.
It's been too long.
No, yeah. I'm like,
You know what I
cheating.
fell asleep to watching last night?
Highlights.
Highlights, but
Jets lowlights.
no, not Jets.
My Winnipeg Jets hype video for last year.
No, though that was pretty cool.
I am making a new one this year.
Perfect.
I just don't know what song to do it to yet.
Okay, I
You
have
have
a
a
couple.
suggestion?
Yeah, I do have a couple.
Okay.
They're off the board, but
Yeah, well, and we'll do it off podcast, so no one steals it. Thieves.
thieves.
All the 8 people that listen to this.
Yeah.
Don't.
Hey! I saw episode 3 had like 79 views. That's pretty cool, man.
How many were you guys?
One? Maybe two?
2 are for
Oh.
sure always me
Well, that's
because
good.
I
No,
checked the
hey,
link
yeah.
and then I posted.
That's
the
pretty
link.
cool, right?
Well, it's a
Okay,
given that our parents listen to it.
My bum doesn't even know I do this, neither does my dad. They probably call me fag or loser for doing this.
Don't. That's
Whoa,
a bad
that's-
word.
yeah,
That-
I
not-
said loser!
you.
That's like that. You and
the
Dan
full
are
word
terrible
was out.
people.
The full
Dan's
word was
throwing
out.
around the R word and you're throwing around the F word.
Not the fuck word, the other F word.
Yeah.
Because the fuck word's okay to
Okay,
say.
you guys, I forgot what you kept talking. I forgot what I was going to talk about. What was I talking about?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's not important.
Something
Guys
about
are-
what you were watching before you went to bed last
Oh
night.
yeah, right. The World Junior Championships
Oh.
2014 gold
Oh.
medal game between Finland and Sweden.
Why would you watch that?
Because it's
It's a
awesome.
waste of
Canada.
3
Billy
hours.
Polka, Rasmus Ristolainen. Oh yeah,
That's
I like Finland.
Fuck you.
I like
Oh,
Finn
boy.
players. They're
Oh,
awesome.
boy. Oh,
Mikhail
boy.
Granlund,
Oh, boy.
sweet mama.
Other than that, the Jets promo schedule was announced. I bet this happened before last podcast, but we didn't get to
It
it.
did happen before.
I think
October
we
7th.
briefly touched on it.
October 17th, home opener.
Against?
Calgary.
Nope.
Nashville.
Oh, Nashville. Yeah, Calgary's the next game after that.
Hey,
sorry.
Seth Jones. I know you guys don't care about this, but I read an article. Seth Jones
I know you guys
made a deal with his parents that his mom would have to live with him for 3 years, but this is the last year his mom's going to live with him. Seth Jones lives with his mom, guys. That's kind of cool.
He's 19.
So what? So what? Guess what? You know
Seth.
what, Seth? We might just be equals in like a month and a half when I get my license, and they'll be like, yeah, I live at home too, Seth. This struggle's real, bro. I know that struggle.
You live at home currently.
No, I know, but we'll be on the same... Once I get my license, we'll both have...
How do you know he has?
There's a
his
slight
license?
difference. Cam.
He drives there. I know
Cam,
he does.
slight difference. You guys both live at home with your parents. He makes millions. You make...
Okay,
Minimum wage.
Dan, don't bring this into this, okay, first off. It's all in relative comparison, okay? He buys ridiculous things, I buy hats.
They give him jerseys
When
to
he
wear,
get-
you buy his jersey.
When he gets a BJ, it's actually a blowjob. When you get a BJ, it's a booster juice.
Wow. We've really earned that explicit...
He didn't refer to what... Oh, did you actually say
I said,
yeah.
Damn it.
We're losing all our street cred.
What?
We don't have any. We're white.
The only other podcast I listen to talks about gay fan fiction.
We're 3 white kids living in the burbs of Winnipeg. We have no street cred.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I
Okay.
sing Greg all the promo, but he doesn't care about
Yeah,
a lot
I
of them.
don't care about a lot of them.
Well, lots
These are
of
the
people
important ones.
Fine.
Except for the awareness night, which is the Rick Rippin night that I did not mention.
You
on here.
didn't put the... Don't...
I'm sorry, I didn't see it in the promo list Cam sent me.
Apparently, Hockey
Read
Helps
it.
Night is not important to Greg. So.
It
Yeah.
matters to me as a person that
He's in
comes
the
from
same
a-
group. He's with Gene Simmons.
one
Oh,
day-
if you're going to kill yourself, just do it, because I don't give a fuck.
Hey,
That's Greg.
Do it, you fucking pussy.
Yeah, like what?
Isn't that what he said?
Yeah, pretty
Jesus.
much. I'm like, oh my god.
Terrible. That's awful. Poor awful.
whatever, guys. I would never do
Fine.
that.
December
It's
7th, Trouba Waldeckle night.
Is
Who
it
did-
like...
Who do they play that night?
What were those big ass...
That is the Ducks.
No, those are
What were those
fatheads.
big
That's
ass
the
wall
Ducks.
jackals?
That's the Ducks.
What were those
Okay.
called?
Fatheads.
Fathead?
Fathead? No, it's
No,
not.
that'd be awesome.
no, those are expensive. Those are like $100.
Okay, fine. To humor Cam and you guys, and actually I feel like a dick for this.
Oh, Gene.
Hockey Fights Cancer is November 4th against the Preds, where they will wear the warm-up jersey. The special edition warm-up jersey.
Those purple
Wow.
ones? Hey, those
Yeah.
were nice. For, like, a promo thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey Dan, remember when we went to March 4th is military jersey night. Dan and I went to it last year, and I went to go ask. I wonder how much those jerseys are, and I'm like, oh, how much is in one of the numbers? And the lady's like $400. I was like, oh, okay. And I just like walked away. Have a good night.
And I'm pretty sure it was like a...
it was a practice
It
jersey.
was like an Albert practice
Yeah.
jersey.
Jeez.
What?
So Hockey Talks is February 26th versus the Blues. That's also promoting Project 11, which is a Rick Rippin
Mental
health.
illness.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Bell
awareness.
Let's Talk. It's in.
Yeah.
It's in co.
It's in Canada. I don't know if they have anything like that in the States. But
I think
Bell
it's...
Let's Talk.
I think it... Oh, no, I think it's NHL wide. No, Hockey Talks or NHL Talks.
It's like
Yeah.
it's definitely hockey wide.
all the
Or
teams
it's
do it.
Canadian
but-
teams at least.
Yeah.
Canadian Armed Forces Night, which they wear a military jersey for
Yeah.
the warm up. Now Cam put in the notes. He's like, why don't they wear them for the games?
Because they're awful.
But they did it with the Moose.
Not the camo ones. Remember the Moose? How every year they did sweet ones, like
Yeah,
where
but
they
I
had-
think isn't there rules in it?
Yeah, there is.
you have
Yeah.
to have like a regulated jersey.
Yeah.
I don't know why you.
And
can't
we
have, like,
still don't
special
have
jerseys.
third jerseys. What's
Yeah.
we're not getting them till the Winter Classic, guys. I know.
20
It's not a
16.
Winter Classic.
It's
It's,
the
Heritage
Heritage
Classic.
Whatever.
Get
Good
your
enough.
shit
Hey,
right.
who has the Winter Classics this year?
Washington,
In-
Chicago, in Washington, and San Jose, LA, in
Oh, yeah.
in the new football stadium in San Francisco.
And there's gonna be
Oh,
there's gonna be
no
like
way.
24/7.
Yeah.
It's on a different network or like a different. I think it's on a different network, and both Winter Classic gets one.
Nice.
Like, I'm sorry, but when you have Washington, Chicago, a game that has no rivalry to it, it
Dude,
they've all
completely
been in there
kills the
before.
point of the Winter Classic.
There's no meaning to it.
They've all been in it
I-
before. That's bullcrap. Do
Yeah.
it go around the league until everyone
It
gets
should
one,
be,
then start
but
going around again.
it should be rivalry, like Toronto, Detroit, and the New York,
Florida,
like,
Tampa.
Well, even San
Yeah,
Jose,
even
LA.
there.
San Jose, LA. That's a
a
California
rivalry.
battle.
Yeah.
Like
You could do
Washington, Chicago. They play each other once a year, twice. Who gives a
I get they're trying to cater to the fact like, to the American market.
How
with
many
Ovi
Winter
and
Classics have the
Jonathan
Blackhawks
Case.
been in?
What?
How many of the
Two.
Blackhawks been in? 3. It'd be
No, three now. I think.
Detroit. And this one. They've only been in 2.
They were in one this past year
No,
against
and they were in this one.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's 3.
Oh yeah, they were.
And then the
No more.
that-
They're
Washington's been in 3.
they're banned.
Yeah.
Philly's been in 2.
They're banned.
Yeah, that's enough, NHL.
Get
Jeez.
some new teams.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dave.
Like Dallas Stars, maybe. And then the last
best-
one is the April 11th, Blake Wheeler bobblehead night.
Yeah.
We do this for real.
Is he going to be wearing a helmet or is he going to have his hair?
It's going to be the hair.
Hair, yeah, same as the other one.
Sweet.
Wow.
I like that one.
Let's
Very
dip into the NHL mailbag now.
Let's.
I want it. You're supposed to make music.
I don't know how to add the.
Make an
I don't know how
intro.
to make it and then add it in.
It's not hard. I can show you.
We should just do that. You've got mail.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Okay, how about I'll just continue with the thing.
Except Pierre McGuire.
And then finish with You Got Mail.
Mailbag.
Except
Get your mail here. mailbag.
except it should be Pierre McGuire.
Oh, that'd be so much
Then we
better.
have to pay
You've got
rights
mail
if we
from
find-
222 St. Andrew Street. Her name is he would just take it too far. So
No, we
She
should
likes
just.
Skittles on rainy
What
days.
we should do is we should just
No
send him the
relation to
entire
Beyond
NHL
Enough.
mailbag and just be like, you know what, Pierre, you do a segment, and he'd be like,
You know what
okay,
we
well
should
the
do?
Sharks signed Braun for 5 years,
You know-
$19 million. His gift that he got for his second birthday was actually an Easton straight curved
you know what
hockey
we should
stick
do? We should actually get a mailbag
from his uncle.
We should actually get a mailbag, write every fact on a piece of paper, and then pull it out of the mailbag, and then whichever one we pull, that's what we read.
Dan, that's effort. And
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
It
I
would
like
be
it.
creative.
By the way, what kind, like a mailbag, like a big, like a.
I don't know, like a Sobeys plastic.
See, you know,
paper
oh,
bag. Who
you know what
cares?
I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of like you
one
know
of those actual mail
potato
bags?
sack bag.
Does
But
anybody
those-
actually have a potato sack?
No, I don't know. It's like
When
what
was the
happened?
last time you were like, hey, I would like a potato sack, please?
I don't know.
Can we just read this?
Yeah, let's read it.
Yeah, so Sharks signed Braun for 5 years, 19 mil.
Okay.
That's a lot of
Krejci
money.
signed 6 years, 43.5 mil.
That's
By
a
the
lot.
way, these
That's
notes are like a couple because we didn't talk about it last
That's
week.
also a lot of money.
Danny
Right, worth
DeKaiser signed 2 years, 4.375, average of 2.125.
I gave you the money on Smith Pelly.
Thank you. I know.
Did you write the numbers?
Yeah, I said right here.
Why
Devontae
did it
Smith-Pelly,
fall on mine?
1.6 mil for 2 years. Boom, 0.8 mil a year.
There's no money on
Yeah,
mine.
I got that.
There's no
Yeah,
money on
because
mine.
I wrote it in on mine.
Oh, so yours is more important than ours.
Yeah,
Greg
because
forgot.
I'm the one saying it.
Okay, that's
trying to
fine.
cover up.
Okay,
Tyler Ennis, the hockey player, not the basketball player, 5 years, 23 million for the Buffalo Sabres.
Okay.
And the Wings Mantha out for 6 to 8 weeks with a broken leg or a fractured
I
right
guess
tibia.
that kind of might screw up their plans of their first.
Yeah,
first
got
teenager. We have a correction, by the way. Last week we did not know who the last Red Wing player who was a teenager to go right from junior to the NHL
who did it?
was.
Who found it for us though?
We said it was 11 years ago. We were wrong.
How many years ago was it?
It was 15 years ago.
Was it still a teen? Damn it, it wasn't. even a
And
teen.
it was Yuri Fisher. He went straight from junior to the NHL.
Who found that stat for us? Dan, because I know it wasn't you.
It was not me. It was the most diehard Detroit Red Wings fan that I know.
That's really?
Yep.
Okay.
At least that I know. I didn't say in general.
Okay. Because no.
Her name's Jessica. We'll leave it at that.
So
She
there's
lives in Dan's closet. I'm just kidding.
he talks to her at night, and she doesn't reply back.
It's okay. At least he got a girl. Like I have a guy named Harvey who lives in my closet. So he's kind of creepy. He's got a cleft lip.
I just have this thing called Toby. He doesn't really exist. He's just this like.
Oh yeah, nice. Okay. Wait.
No Malkin or Crosby at Penn's
Why?
camp. Is this a big deal?
Wait, why aren't they there?
Because they don't feel like it. Because they're
Actually-
like, fuck this.
Shut up.
Why would I show
Okay,
up to pay?
Greg.
I know I'm going to make the team. Why would I be there?
Okay.
They're injured, but they never said what.
Malkin got shot by the Russian mob because he said he didn't want to go play in the KHL.
He's not living in Russia anymore. So
I know.
that's impossible.
Sidney Crosby probably. It was when he got arrested in Ottawa.
He didn't get arrested.
I know.
That was BS.
That was hilarious when that happened. No, Dan, you're not allowed to open candy today.
That's why I put it on the thing. You just made more noise by doing that.
Fine.
The point.
Another guy that's injured, Josh Harding, broke his foot recently, and he's
Fractured right foot.
fractured right
That
foot.
guy
And he's
gets
out
no love.
indefinitely. And so they're bringing back Easy Breezy Briz
Beautiful Brizgalov.
Yeah.
Mr. Universe
for a
himself.
tryout.
He's
For a
not back.
PTO.
He's
For a
for a
PTO.
tryout.
Yeah, well, what else do they have? Darcy Kemper? Come on now.
Darcy Kemper
And
and
Backstrom.
Nicholas Backstrom.
Nicholas Backstrom.
Oh, Backstrom too, right? I forgot about him. What
Yeah.
happened to him? Did he?
He
get
got
injured
hurt last year.
Yeah, he was hurt
last year.
Ah.
He's also getting pretty old. So.
Okay, guys, You know how we thought we sucked at signing contracts and stuff because we go.
don't though.
No.
There's
in
a new
terms of-
team that's.
Okay, because we
Do you have
take
the
guys
stats
to
on this?
arbitration.
I do have the
Okay.
stats.
And we thought arbitration was terrible. Well, apparently, what's worse than arbitration is when you have a rookie who wants a big monster deal instead of signing a bridge gap. Dan, fill us in.
Well, apparently Columbus, they came out, their president or their GM came out and straight up said they've offered Ryan Johansson 3 contracts. One was 2 years, $6 million, so 3 a year.
The bridge.
Yeah. The second one was a 6-year, $32 million contract, so a 5.3 average.
Okay.
The last contract was 8 years, $46 million, which is $5.75 a year on average. And it doesn't say how much he'd make
Yeah, that's fine.
per
That's
year.
fine.
So, in my opinion, they're for the player he is now, they're fair contracts. For what he might be in 3 or 4 years, they might not be.
See,
But
this
for
is
right now, they are completely fair contracts. And honestly, Johansson's kind of being a selfish dick. I'm
You're
sorry,
right.
but he had one good year, and now he thinks he deserves $10 million.
Okay, before you chime in, Greg, while you were talking about that 2-year deal, 6, and you're saying he's being a selfish dick, I automatically thought, you know what? There's someone like this isn't the first rookie to do this going into his second contract. I automatically thought, why doesn't he get a Ryan O'Reilly contract? 2-10, 2 years 10.
I was just
$5 to
gonna say
$5.5
that.
million is
What's-
perfect.
Okay, what's wrong? Why didn't they offer him a 2-year, 4.5 a year, being a 9-year contract? And the reason being that I think that that's a smart idea because clearly he wants the money and clearly he's a huge part of your team. Like he's important to that team.
Yeah.
So you want him to be happy. But the thing is, with signing those huge contracts, they're worth 5.75 on average. If Ryan Johansson continues on the trend that he's going, he's going to be worth $7 million a year, and he's not going to take an 8-year contract that's only paying him 5.75.
I don't
for that
blame.
year.
Yeah, no, I don't blame
So
him for that at all.
for him, what he should have said, and I don't know, I'm not his agent, I'm not him, I don't know what was going on in the negotiations, but I'm absolutely shocked that they weren't like, no, we only want a 2-year contract for this much and just pay us this. Because clearly they're willing to spend the money on him. It's just about him not wanting to settle for that long of a period.
Kind of, I don't agree with disclosing the information that how much you're offering a guy, but kind of sounds like he's being selfish.
Well,
Oh, he
Ryan
definitely
Johansson,
is.
Ryan
He definitely
Johansson and his
'Cause I would just-
agent have left Columbus.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, well, if you're not taking this seriously, we're going to leave.
So I mean,
I didn't know the money until right before he started.
he might I would agree if he keeps trending in 8 years, he's going to be worth more than 5.75. But right now, I would say he's worth 5.5 right now.
Yeah.
He had 33
Okay.
goals, 61 points. That's really good last year. But we had a guy who scored 31 goals his rookie year last year on our team, and he scored 11.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Setaguchi, for anyone that doesn't know. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
I don't blame Columbus. I'd give him 2 years. Make him prove that he's worth it, and give him the big money.
Yeah, show me that you can do
Because
it consistently.
they're a money tight market.
Yeah,
Yep.
They
are.
can't afford to, what if they give this guy $8 million a year and he's a bust?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
You
they
don't
can't
wanna
give
rip
him. They
the
can't give him a
intro.
$64 million contract.
No.
When he's 20 years old.
So,
Yeah.
8 years.
do
8
you
mil.
think he is a Blue Jacket this year? Or do you think he goes somewhere else?
I'm
Because
surprised.
there's a lot of bad blood. Because it's all over the media. It's not.
I am pretty surprised that no one's even offer sheeted him. Not even attempted to offer sheet.
But
Well-
if he wants $8 million, no one's going to give it to him. That's
That's
the
true.
only Thing.
The Flyers were thinking about it. Probably.
Yeah, easy.
And
Why would? Well,
then they're like, wait. Can we
Okay.
offer him $6 million? You don't have that much cap room. I want to do it.
okay, they're like
That's what he was
I'll
saying.
pay the fine.
They're 5 and a bit over the cap, yes, but that's also factoring in Chemo's going to come off the books because he's blood clot. He's pretty much out. And I said earlier this week, or what? Yeah, I think it was a couple days ago, that he said it's going to be a long shot to see if he's even going to play again, basically.
Yeah.
So Chemo's going to come out, Timonin's going to come off the books, and Pronger's, that's including Pronger, but he's off the books already. So by that standard, they would be. Oh no, they'd still be about $1.5 million over then, because Pronger doesn't really. There's weird stipulations, and I haven't looked all into the rules, but yeah. So I can't, but I get that Flyers, they would do it, but they wouldn't because they have Sean Couturier, so they don't need a second line center, okay? And they're definitely not going to let Ryan Johansson usurp Ginger Jesus.
All I'm saying is if they offer Sheeta Johansson and they got him, Couturier would be out of there in a Pretty cool. Pretty fast.
No, I'd take Couturier over Johansson.
Couturier
In
play the
terms of
wing?
Couturier,
What
is
would
a
Paul
much better two-way.
What would Paul Holmgren do?
It's not Holmgren anymore. It's Hextall. But I'm
Holmgren still
scared-
pulls the
I'm
strings.
still scared of Hextall.
Still's done everything.
Hey,
He's
you know
hit a
what?
guy with a stick.
So
Chased him
what?
down the ice.
They
You
brought
be
Hexy
quiet.
back, okay?
He's from Manitoba.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay.
Most overrated team in the NHL.
Yeah.
God, you ask hard questions.
Yeah, that's a tough
Most
question.
overrated team in the NHL?
Overrated?
There's two teams that come to mind
Yeah.
solely based off my hatred for them. So it's really personal.
my
It's
God.
personal bias.
So one of them's Vancouver Canucks.
And the
Nope.
other one's the LA Kings, who've won 2 cups in
Neither.
3 years.
Neither.
What?
Neither.
Whoa.
Detroit.
Detroit.
Okay.
Detroit.
Okay.
Why for Detroit? That's really, it just comes down to personal bias because, like, sure, they've made the playoffs literally our entire lives.
Thomas Tatar, Darren Helm, Gustav Nyquist.
Would you really consider them like?
Pavel Datsyuk.
Well,
Like
because,
Gustav
okay,
Nyquist.
They
even-
make the playoffs, but they get bounced
Okay,
first
no,
round.
that's
so,
what I'm saying.
like,
This every year going
do
in.
they
though-
really
They
qualify
don't
as
really
like
have that great of a goaltending either.
Okay, well, my other team would
I
be
wouldn't-
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of
they-
Crosby,
I was
because
leaning-
of Malkin, because they're like, oh yeah, even if you take Crosby out, there's still Malkin. You take Malkin when you have both, they're a well-oiled machine. But we've talked about this. Okay, you take away.
They're
like-
better. They're better with only one in the lineup than both.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
statistically proven.
I would agree. Yeah.
It's
Pittsburgh.
math.
Pittsburgh is definitely one.
And LA, you know what? Yeah, they even at the start of last year, they probably would have been on my list, but they've proven that obviously they can win and they're not just flashing.
In my opinion, they're the best team in the entire league.
One of the
Who?
most boringest teams
Who?
to watch, though. Regular season,
I'm
let me
not
cover my
talking
ass.
about. I'm not talking
But
about
yes.
how they play. I'm saying they're the best team in the league.
All right.
That's my opinion.
Okay, so
most overrated.
who's your overrated? Because
I was gonna say
I have
Pittsburgh,
two.
but I don't want to say Pittsburgh.
I have two teams that made the
go.
playoffs last
Well,
year.
you already know.
You know
so
what?
that's
I'm gonna
it.
say this. Montreal,
That was my team.
because
But I have another
don't
one,
think
too.
they're as good as they were
Yeah.
they showed.
Yeah.
And see what's funny about Montreal and even Pittsburgh, it's also the media. So is it really just what we see on
You
TV
guys might
too?
give me shit for this.
Yeah.
I know they've won a cup recently, but the Bruins,
No, I buy that. I buy that for sure.
they're good, but I don't think they're elite.
No, I kind of agree with that too. And they're in cap problems, so they will have to lose a guy.
Yeah, they have to sign Smith and Krug still.
Yeah,
That's
so
not
they're
gonna happen.
they're in
No
trouble.
way.
And they're
No way,
inviting
no way.
Simone Gagne and who else to the camp for a tryout?
Oh, I
Oh,
saw
I
that.
saw it online. Oh, I
Gagne's
don't
an
know.
interesting one though. For
Gagne's,
sure.
yeah.
I don't think
He's
so.
getting
that's
up
a guy.
there.
Who's your-
We're consensus, so we all think the Avalanche are kind of an overrated team that they won't do what they did last year.
I
Whoa,
think.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Wait and see. I think it's
So
go
wait,
either
This
way.
question, I basically most overrated in NHL. Is it this season or just in general? I think
for
they
this year. For this year.
Oh, for this year?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Like a team that everyone's
Wow.
saying, oh, they're going to be great, that isn't going to
Okay,
be.
I think even NHL wide, we all agree that they won't be able to reach the levels that they did last year in terms of points and production and whatnot. But I still think they're going to be a good team and interesting to watch and whatnot. But they definitely overachieved last year.
Can I just say one off the board, a team that has a lot of hype that I think might not live up to it?
If you freaking steal the team that I'm going to say, I'm going to kill you. But go ahead.
Don't.
Dallas.
Ooh.
Ooh, you don't.
They've got lots of hype, but they have to live up to it.
They did buy chemistry though.
So, I have two.
Okay.
St. Louis Blues.
Ooh.
Interesting.
No goalie.
But makes sense.
No goalie.
Wow, that's true.
And
He did make the All-Star 2 years ago, though.
Brian Elliott.
He was the first goalie on a two-way contract to make the All-Star game ever.
Okay. Well, he has to prove that he can be that consistent.
Yeah, no.
And
Nice. I like where
they
you're going with this.
they
I
need
like the Blues.
if one what?
I hate the Blues.
Oh, do you?
Brutal.
If like Petro goes down, yeah, okay, they still have Shattenkirk and Bouwmeester, but like their offense is basically centered around Pietrangelo
and that
and
breakout
the
pass.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So they could with losing him, they lose that. They lost Vladimir Sabalka, who's one of their better players for depth.
He was on the
reasons.
fourth line, though.
Depth player, and they had an unbelievable season from Alex Steen last year. Like that was one of his best years in the NHL.
And he got rewarded
since his rookie
handsomely,
year.
so he
Yeah.
needs to. Just while
So,
we're on the Blues thing, though, honestly, if you look at the Jets, I think they're trying to model after St. Louis. Like St.
Yeah.
Louis,
Oh,
they
totally
have
agree.
4 consistent lines. They don't have a superstar. They have 4
Yeah, you
consistent lines.
could
They have
argue.
solid defense, and they have a great goaltender. Wow,
Yeah, not
arguably,
anymore.
you
Not
know,
as
and
much anymore.
that's sort of what the Jets are going for: solid lines, solid defense.
Yeah.
Terrible,
But I don't think like everyone's thinking St. Louis and Chicago are going to be in the fight for that division.
People are picking St. Louis for the Cup this year.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the sports writers.
I'm not saying St. Louis won't make the playoffs. I'm just saying they won't be in the top 4. And hey, if I'm wrong, whatever, I accept it, but that's just my opinion right now. The other team that has a lot of hype around them is the New York Rangers, and I don't think they'll live up to it.
I thought about that.
Because all they have is a goalie, and they don't really have much else, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I would agree with you because they pretty much got dominated in the Cup final. If it wasn't for Lundqvist, that would have been
a much different
That would have
series.
been it probably was the most one-sided Cup final that I've ever seen, but it would have been for sure if they had...
I don't think Ryan McDonough is that amazing of a defenseman. And, people make him out to be
He's
the
a good
second coming.
stay-at-home. He's a stay-at-home defenseman. He's not Norris quality, I don't think.
I don't think he's Norris quality. I don't think he's up there in the top. I wouldn't put him in the top 5.
No.
And they make him out to be a top
Who's
5
that?
defenseman. McDonough.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. About
I would
that.
top
No.
10 maybe.
There's a lot of
5
good
goals.
players that are ahead of him, in my opinion. So I'm going to go with Rangers and Blues.
Fair enough.
Blues
Okay.
because they don't have a goaltender anymore, or proven goalie anymore. And Rangers because you can't rely on your goalie that much. They block a lot of shots in a defensive-minded team, which is great. But all they need to do is find a team to expose that, like the LA Kings did, and they'll be shot. Both teams will probably still make the playoffs, but both teams will not amount to the hype that everyone thinks they're going to amount to. Because a lot of people are picking that as the Stanley Cup final. I just don't think
Who's
that'll
that?
happen.
Blues and
Blues?
Rangers?
Yeah.
God.
Prepare
few
for
sports
a
writers
boring
now.
ass final.
Yeah, those 3 teams, I told myself after I saw them live, I'm never paying to see them again. It's New Jersey Devils, LA Kings, St. Louis Blues. I'm never paying my own money to go see them ever again.
Is there
Ever. Unless they're playing a team.
Phoenix is also in that
Phoenix
list.
might be in that list for me.
My
See,
God.
Phoenix-
year
but the
one,
thing with me
year
is-
one, Jets beat them 1-0. It was horrible.
Yeah.
See,
I was
Phoenix,
there.
though, I don't
I was
mind.
there.
I have a little mini man crush on Oliver Ekman-Larsson
Oh,
for some
yeah.
reason. I don't know. I just like him.
He's a great player.
Yeah. He's a good
Okay.
looking dude, too. So
See, I like...
He always
Dan-
has to throw something in there like that.
Dan's face looked like he just chewed on something sour when he said that.
See, the Blues game I went to a shootout, and I was extremely hungover.
Oh, God.
Oh, that Blues game was when I bought my jersey, and I was still kind of drunk, kind of hungover.
Year
and I'm
one?
Year one.
That was
And
the
I
first,
walk into the Jets.
That was the first fake Jet shootout because Blake Wheeler scored 2 goals, then he scored in the shootout, and people
You
threw
mean
hats.
You
And we're
mean
like,
hat trick, not fake shootout?
yeah, sorry, fake
Get-
hat trick.
Whatever.
Because he scored 2
Wait, we
goals,
were
and
there.
then he scored the hat trick in the
I was
shootout,
there.
and people were throwing hats. We're like, it doesn't
It
count.
doesn't count. What are you
So,
doing?
That's
Stop.
probably why we're cursed, because our fans are like, oh,
We
take
cursed
it.
ourselves.
I get my ticket stand, walk up, and I look. I'm still kind of drunk, hungover. I had an hour and a half of sleep before I.
Okay, easy.
Went
They
there.
rated our superstar.
I'm just telling the story
Okay, so
here.
you were in a drunken stupor. Next.
And I'm walking up the stairs, and I look, and I'm with my friend Tyler, and I look, and there's a Jets jersey. I'm like, I kind of need a Jets jersey, and he's like, well, you could buy one. So I walk in the store.
Sound
and
advice from Tyler.
Feeling self-conscious as I was back then, I put on the XL jersey. I'm like, oh, it's kind of tight. I don't know if this works.
You're probably wearing a hoodie at the time,
Yeah,
too, right?
and I bought a double XL jersey. The thing is like a dress on me now, and I tried on.
Greg wears it as a blankie.
I tried on a large the other day, and it fits
Is there
a large.
Is there a player on the...
No, I'm gonna put a Klitzen.
He's going to wear it at the rink.
Get
I'm gonna-
Clitty, though. Don't get Clitty.
Yeah, I'm gonna put Klitty on it,
I don't know.
or I'm gonna get Frolic Navidad.
Ooh. Oh, Greg and I already talked about, we're all going to get shirts with 60... We're going to put...
No,
gonna
we're
buy
all
Jet
putting
shirts.
different things on it.
Oh, okay. I want
You're
Felipe
getting
Navidad.
Frolic Navidad. You're getting the Punisher on 14, and I'm getting 24. Got Clit.
I don't know if customizing can do that.
I think we should talk to the customizing people and be like, you should do that.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe if we had an in with customizing people.
That's true. Maybe.
I don't know if we do, but we might have to.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to walk into some sports store and harass somebody who works there.
Yeah.
And-
There are some backups that you can go to. Quarter Inch, Wheeler Fortune.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't call me. Number 18, Don't Call Me Little.
Oh, don't call me
Oh,
Lil.
39, The Claymore. The Claymore of
Tobias.
by the Claymore of Tobias.
Yeah.
Or number 9, the classic Citizen. Citizen Kane.
I'm never wearing anything that says
Or The Natural.
Oh, or if he makes a team, depending on what number he is, but say if it's 42 for now, Nikolai Ehlers, his nickname is the Dashing Dane.
Oh my God!
He's
Yes.
so fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Oh, sweet. Okay. Most underrated team cannot be the Winnipeg Jets. Most underrated.
Don't worry,
team.
it's not
okay,
going to
I'm
be.
taking
Only
this.
pick
I'm
one
taking
team.
it before you guys.
Only pick
New
one
York
team.
Islanders.
Fuck you! Fuck you!
I knew
Oh, I
it.
hate you!
Yeah. No, seriously.
Yaroslav Halak, Nikolai Kuhlman, Mikhail Grabowski, Calvin DeHaan's a year older, Travis Hamonick's a year older. This team is fucking good!
Michael Grabner,
easy,
Calaposo.
easy.
Oh my God!
And we forgot the captain, John Tavares.
Easy.
Giacomi.
Oh, he's coming back from it. He's gonna be great. This
Whoop,
team's gonna be good.
Half those guys haven't even played for them yet, so you can't say they're underrated.
Okay, well,
because
have
they-
he named 2 Leafs, okay? You can't blame him.
Halak did not play for them last year. The 2 Leafs did not play for them. I mean, you have to wait and see. Like, no one's saying they're going to be
I didn't
bad.
even factor in. I forgot about Kuhlman and Grabowski. I'm just naming. I think they're an underrated team. I love
I don't think
watching
anyone's
them play.
even
They're
thinking.
great.
I don't think anyone's thinking Islanders, and I think they could be there.
Anyone can be there in the East.
Yeah, that's true. The East is
God.
awful again.
I could be in the playoffs by myself. Underrated? You guys are going Islanders, huh?
Yeah.
Well, no, I gotta pick.
No,
a different
no,
team.
that's
no,
Islanders.
no. I'm picking a different team.
Well, fine. Islanders could clearly be your team then. The way
No,
you just
pick
brought it up.
Islanders.
Fine,
Pick Islanders.
I got Islanders.
It's fine. Fuck you.
Underrated.
Jeez, Greg. Enough.
Underrated. This is tough.
Okay,
I'm
you
an
find
asshole.
another team.
Yeah, I'm thinking right now. I'm just gonna pick Florida because for no
It's funny,
reason.
I thought of Florida too. My second team, I'm like Florida. Then Greg says Florida.
Great minds, man. Great
Yeah,
minds.
obviously.
I'm trying to think of teams that were in the playoffs that could surprise, and I'm having a hard time.
No, it could even be a team that people are like, oh, they're gonna be in 8th place. That could make it higher than that.
Underrated?
Yeah.
Underrated.
Don't say Ottawa because they're gonna be shit.
People probably think they're going to make the playoffs.
Wow.
I'm
not
not saying
answering
Ottawa.
your question,
The
though.
team I'm talking about, people think they're going to make the playoffs. I think they're going to the Cup final. Tampa Bay.
I don't know if that'd be underrated though.
No,
'cause they're
well,
already
you
good.
know what?
They got
In a
swept in the
sense.
first round by
They're my-
Montreal last year. They are average.
That's
right
because their goalie wasn't playing.
now. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And Montreal felt the wrath
I'm
of
saying
that
they're going
when
to the Cup
See,
final.
here's the
That's a
thing,
big
though.
I
leap for
said
them.
Cup final in like
A
episode
lot of
2.
a lot of
That's a
people
big
feel
leap
like
for them.
a lot of people feel like they're gonna be in that quarter or in the semifinal or in the conference final, or the Stanley Cup final. I'm trying to talk, Colby. He's going batshit crazy
He
right
totally agrees with Dan. That's why.
now. Yeah.
He was named after snipers.
It's
He loves
because
snipers. It's
you guys
Stamkos.
are yelling, that's why he's-
Oh, I
Oh,
see.
okay.
That makes sense. Underrated. See, like I don't consider Tampa Bay, but that's your opinion. That's fine. I understand.
Well, I have to pick another one.
No, you don't have to
No,
pick
don't
another
God,
one.
don't pick another one.
No,
Take
this
mine off.
is brutal, man. God. Underrated team that's not the New York Islanders or Florida Panthers.
Minnesota could be up there too.
The thing is, though, is it's all relative on how good their on how good their goalie can be.
Well, what kind of question is this?
If Tampa Bay is not considered underrated, then Minnesota sure as hell is not because they are better. There's no way you can call them underrated.
Well, they both make
No, but the
sense.
thing is, though, is Tampa Bay media is saying that they're going to be good, and everyone thinks that
So
Minnesota's going to be a threshold wild card team. So we don't really know what they're going
well,
to
that's
offer.
only because of the division, though.
This is true.
We have the toughest division. Like the Jets. The Jets are a decent hockey team, and they're still the worst team in the division.
Yeah, in
Like,
a very
it's-
tough, very, very, very
like-
tough division.
You know.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to go with Toronto Maple Leafs. There you go. I said it. I want
Underrated?
Underrated. Nobody thinks they're going to make the playoffs
Greg
this year.
doesn't own a television set and know what TSN is.
Okay, well that's TSN. Anyone outside...
Nobody outside of Ontario thinks they're very good. Everyone inside of Ontario thinks they're the best team in the league. So
Yeah.
calm down.
Yeah.
So if you're outside of Toronto, you probably don't think they're going to do too well. Well, you know what? I think they will.
Greg, can you
I think
Google
they'll make
something
the
for me because I don't have internet right now? While Greg Googles this, Greg has something else on the next topic, but I just have a thought in my head. Okay, can you Google
playoffs. It's fine.
when was sliced bread invented?
Fuck you.
No, it's not.
No, I'm not being part of your punchline.
It's gonna be like because if it was close to 1960s, just if the guy's gonna be like, oh yeah, they were the best thing since sliced bread, and that's what they think about.
Yeah,
inside
I know. I'm
Ontario.
not being a punchline.
I
for
would
you.
like to know that number.
No, I will tell you off podcast.
Okay, fine. Greg, last comments. Let's take.
Biz Nasty gets a PTO with St. Louis.
Do you think he'll make the team? Because he's practicing with 14-year-olds right now.
I don't really
No.
know. I doubt it.
I don't think
there's
that
no
team.
room.
And do they
Too
need
deep.
another tough guy? They have Ryan Reeves, which he's pretty scary. So.
If I walked up to him,
Hey, Winnipeg, right?
Yeah.
Winnipeg.
Yeah. Winnipeg boy.
Oh,
Canadian.
did you guys see that? I mean,
No.
I know you saw
Oh,
it.
yeah, the
NHL
NF
players guessing their NHL 15
So there was Bergeron, Zajac,
Zajac
Oshie,
was kinda
and
sad.
Ovi.
because Zajak's like 80. like 87, 88.
And it's like an 88?
It's like, no, it's like 85 or something like that.
No. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
And
but
it
they
goes
don't
low.
ever tell them. But Ovi.
100.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Ovi's
it's like
like,
100.
and they're like 93. Oh, but you're the top left wing. Oh, I'm left wing. Ah.
Uh,
Like he gets jazzed.
He's funny though. He's
Yeah.
just like he's a good.
And then
guy.
they ask Crosby. They're like, Crosby, what do you think your rating? He's like 93. And they're like, actually, you're the highest rated player, 96. It's fair. He's like not trying to be a dick about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Ochi, they're like, he's like, 81, 82. And they're like, oh, you're 86. And he's like, oh, hey.
And then they had Bergeron, and he's like, well, I'm a 91, which I'm really happy about.
Yeah, he's like,
He
He just knew what he was, yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the best Jet? I think there's 3 guys that are
87. Ladd, Wheeler,
Kane.
Kane. It's okay, because Bozak's the same rating as all of them.
Because it's Tyler Bozak and he's Tyler Bozak.
Well, Tyler Bozak, JVR, and Phil Kessel have scored the most goals out of any line combination in the last...
Since last year, because they played. Well, I found this chart. It's like top 20 most games played together as a line combination, and they scored 81 goals, I believe.
Can you guys verify this stat? But like, over the last 2 years or 3 years, the Ladd Little Wheeler line is like the highest scoring line in the NHL or something.
That's not right.
One of.
Well, they
I
weren't
can
in the
see
top
one of.
20 last. They weren't.
No,
in the,
no, like in the top like 2 or 3.
No,
I'm
no,
not
but they
talking like
weren't
top
even-
20.
like line combination wise, but then I was looking at most frequent. I wasn't looking at just playing together.
Okay, that could be interesting.
That'd be
We
a
could
hard
look
stat
at
to
it for
find.
next. We could look at it for next podcast.
I remember reading something. I don't remember what the stat was.
Hey guys, we're back to weekly podcasts.
You're right, we are.
Oh my
Less than
God.
a week.
Hey, and next week when we post a podcast, it'll actually be about hockey and how the Jets played.
Guys, who do you think is going to score the very first Jets preseason goal?
Ehlers.
No,
God damn you, Dan.
I'm not
I'm
going
taking
there.
Morrissey.
Ooh.
Go.
I'm just gonna go with old faithful JC Lapong.
Yeah, that's
We're all
what
going
Faith-
off the board.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like how Dan's like, or Greg, Old Faithful. I was like, oh, Lad, and then he's like,
Yeah.
JC Lapon.
Yeah,
Whoa.
How was he
Wow.
Old Faithful? He never.
I don't know. I just picked him. That was a mistake. Kind
I
of like
thought you were gonna
last
say
Friday.
Nick Antropov. He scored the first goal.
Who scored the first preseason goal for the Jets?
Safely.
No,
Postman.
Paul Postma.
Oh yeah,
the
right.
Postman.
Safely was after that.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that KHL ref or that KHL coach going nuts?
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
there's
I
he
saw about
like
that.
flipping off. He's doing this to the ref to the
And
fans.
KHL.
Sign language does
Hey,
not work on an
the only
audio
reason
podcast.
I thought of this was because a player on that team is Nick Antropov.
Oh, fuck.
Because
Well,
he
there you
walks
go.
past Nick Antropov.
Okay.
Bring it full
Closing
circle.
thoughts.
Oh, I was just gonna say 2 more former Jets didn't get NHL jobs and went to Europe. James Wright and Antti Miettinen.
Okay.
Just shows how good a talent scouting we have.
Okay.
Great.
Closing remarks.
I got nothing.
Okay. Well, Brett, we saw your tweet. Thanks for continuing to watch, and hopefully you enjoyed this week's podcast, as well as all you other fans who
Wait.
don't tweet at us,
He said he thinks the Jets are going to be better than we think they're going to be this year.
which is awesome.
To which I
This is why
responded,
you like you.
if Pavlik plays better than if Pavlik plays like a number 1 goalie, they will surprise people. I'm not saying playoffs, but
But if
They'll
you've ever,
surprise people.
I know people say Canadians are very happy, but like when we're in our own city, very pessimistic in Winnipeg.
Yes, this is
And so
true.
that's why we just shit on our team.
and if he listened to the whole podcast, I want to ask him Stanley Cup prediction. The 2 teams that are in it and
Ooh.
who's going to win it.
That's actually to anyone, so you can tweet at us at lastmaninpc, or send us an email at lastmaninpc@gmail.com. We look at all of our Gmail, all of our mail,
Yeah.
and we will look over all of our tweets. I get them directly to my phone. So
we set it up, we're all good now.
yeah, now your community or whatever this
We're
the
a well-oiled
social
machine.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Thanks again, you awesome fans, and new fans and old fans. Continue to watch, maybe share, maybe show a family member us, and hopefully they like us.
Yeah.
Because my family doesn't like me. But see you next week when hockey.
Clearly because they don't listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they don't hear me say fuck 18 times.
Or the other.
Oh, make that like 20 or 30 of this today.
No, I haven't said it that much.
You said a lot.
You said a different F word, so that just counts.
Yeah, that one just nulls out all the other Fs.
You know what? You should bleep that. I've told you never bleep anything out. That's the one you bleep out.
No, I don't know how to
That's
bleep out.
That's the
I
one
forget.
time you bleep out.
No, because then I
We're
have to live.
explicit. We don't have to do anything.
Yeah,
We
that's
don't-
fine.
Wow. Okay. Well, see you guys next week when hockey has finally been played.